We're starting a friendship revolution one hype friend at a time, but we need you.
Yes, join our friendship movement by subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media at Be a Hype Friend.
And visit our website at beahypefriend.com and subscribe to our newsletter.
Remember, all it takes is one like, share, and subscribe to join our friendship revolution.
Oh
Wait
my
for it.
oh my
Wait
oh my
for
god.
it.
Oh my god. Oh
Wait,
my
is
god.
this the right side?
Oh my god.
I knew going into it, oh, this is going to be really special and it's going to be really fun. And then it was actually even better somehow than I had thought it was going to be.
I'm no Superman. Oh, man.
That sounds so good.
That's it.
I have to tell you that song has been stuck in my head after watching Scrubs. And I'm, like, so happy about it.
I know it gets definitely like it's definitely like in the moment, and it's such a like vibe of a song, like such a throwback that it just makes you just like I'm like, oh wait, oh right, this is the same, yeah. I know I'm like it's just like it's like a loop. Look how cute you are.
I've got
Ooh.
it was an impulse purchase. I was at Disney
Oh,
Springs, as you
oh.
know, I often am.
I feel like most statements start with I was at Disney Springs. Hold on. From Ashley Eckstein. It definitely starts with it literally starts with so I was at Disney Springs and then like
We're talking to Sarah Chalke today, your
I
castmate.
know I am super yes, I'm super thrilled that she's joining us and I'm so excited for you to meet her. I mean, she's literally the best. So I'm just so I'm like elated. I'm a little giddy because she's just so awesome. She's a really like fly girl. She's like fly.
Well, in my
Do you know what I mean?
headcanon, in
She's
my
very
own headcanon, like, we would play sisters or cousins on something
absolutely.
because I feel like we could.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like we look like we could have the same mom.
Wait, I love this. Like we're manifesting that. I love
We're
it.
manifesting it, manifesting it.
Well,
Oh my
let's do
gosh,
it.
let's do it.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael James Scott.
And hey there, I'm Ashley Eckstein.
And
And welcome
welcome to
to
HypeFriend.
HypeFriend. Hype,
Hey!
hype, hype, hype.
Hype, bum, 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 bum. I'm no Superman, hype, bum, 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 I'm no Superman. I'm so excited
Oh,
about this
man.
episode. I'm excited about every episode. I mean, I feel like you listen. We came in, we bunched the crunch in on season one, and I feel like we are bunching the cruncher on season two. Like it is like I'm just so like hyped for each episode, and we just keep getting such awesome guests and such awesome neighbors community like added to this thing that is Hype Friend. I mean, I'm just
Yes.
so thrilled.
I mean, I am so hyped as well for all of the feedback we're getting. I
Yes,
mean, shout out to Stephanie,
yes,
our friend Stephanie, shout out to Laura. Your comments, we're reading them. We love them. They make us laugh out loud, literally tear up. So we truly appreciate you all watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, and hyping us up.
yes.
Uh, Michael, it's working.
It's working. Keep it coming. We love it because we are with you, y'all. We are with you. We are with you, and really excited to keep this going. Ooh. Well, okay. So we have a very exciting guest today, and and we're gonna obviously get to her, and I'm beyond excited. But before that, I mean, we are. This is another virtual episode for us because we are not in the like in the exact physical space. So I know that Miss Ashley Eckstein is she gives us her bakes and all the things, but we were like, you know what, Ashley, I think it's time for you to just take a sensible break from Like, just take a second because, it already starts with you going to Disney Springs, D Springs, doing like, you doing a signing, then you're going to Publix, then you're like,
Oh,
then
oh.
you're going to go meet like Mama and Papa Tano for, a something, and then you come back home. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's before 6 a.m. Like, so I just figure we'll just hold on for the Ashley Bakes. And instead, I feel like maybe we should get it into a little internet impulse purchaser.
But you know what? Before we do that,
Well,
wait a
because
minute.
you already have one, I think you said.
I
So
have a surprise for you, Michael.
you do?
Okay.
Wait.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Oh
Wait
my god.
for it.
Oh my
Wait
god. Oh
for
my god. Oh
it.
my god. Oh
Wait,
my
is
god.
this the right side?
Oh my god.
Ah. So, our friend Nicole, who's a part of our hype crew, um,
Also my sister-in-law.
yes, yes, Nicole surprised us with a custom pillow.
OMG. Well, see, Nicole knows the love language of the pillow situation. Wait a
Yes.
minute. Oh my wait, like we kind of look fierce on a pillow. Like
I'm obsessed.
I
Absolutely obsessed.
oh my gosh, like you can literally like you can like have like a conversation with me like on the couch. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
I
just like
totally can, and then I can give you a hug when I want to.
wait a minute. I'm obsessed.
I
Nicole,
know.
thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
That is so fun. Now before that, I couldn't get over whether or not it was the pillow or the vibrato that you were trying to show off. So I just was trying to figure out where we were. So, because that you came in right up there, right from the jump. So, like, I mean, here we are. I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait
Oh,
to, like, see it in person. I love that. Thank you,
I
Nicole.
know. So that was a very good internet impulse purchase.
Yes. Well, speaking of impulse purchaser, internet impulse purchaser, internet impulse purchaser. He's an internet impulse purchaser. Boom. Thank you.
I don't know what my dance moves were. It was
You were going with me because I don't know what my jingle was. Do you know what I mean? So it was fine. Okay. So my internet impulse purchaser situation today happens to be on me.
What?
It's a full suit. Can you see?
What?
Like it's a full. Can you even like first of all, I'm giving you like this sort of like off the like the bigger collar moment, smaller moment, like she's giving she's like also if you can kind of hear you can kind of wait, listen. It's like
Oh.
it's like a travel, light material, so it's very comfortable, and it's, like, very chic, and it's a moment, so it definitely is an impulse internet purchase where I was just, like, scrolling, and I was like, "Wait, that's kinda cute," and I just got
And
it.
you bought a suit. Is this like one of those travel in comfort, but like look chic type of
Yes.
things?
So this is a company called Cool Fendi. They basically specialize in a lot of like travel, like more like comfortable wear, but like very chic. So it like came across my feed. Now listen, the feed is full of like travel blogs and all the things. So there's always some sort of like travel situation that comes up. So this was a moment, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm even giving you a shoulder pad.
There's shoulder pads in there?
Yes, obviously.
I mean, okay, but I kinda have to know, was this a very expensive travel suit, or was this like, "Oh, you're getting a deal, and it just happens to be a really great suit"?
D, all of the above. No, 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 no. It was actually like I was getting a deal, but it was not expensive. Like it was literally, I think total with shipping, with like everything, like $50.
That is such a good deal.
Yes, and that was on sale. Like, it was on sale. It was like 120 before. And so because I got it right away, like it literally gave me a timer. Like they knew exactly what they were doing. I literally was on there. It was like, you have 4 minutes.
Oh.
And it just like the timer started to go down. And I was like, but like, do I get it? Do I not get it? Jeremy was asleep right next to me. Or to be like,
You know what, Michael? As your hype friend, um, because I do understand a husband who questions your impulse purchases.
you know what I'm saying?
But as your hype friend, I feel like I can justify this purchase
Thank
and
you.
say that was a very smart purchase. You travel all the time. You live on a plane half of your life. And so you really should be comfortable. And $50, if you amortize it over the amount of flights that you take per year, you take more than 50 flights. So therefore, it equals out to, I mean, literally like $1 per flight. So this was an excellent purchase.
Thank you, Ashley Eckstein. The way that I feel seen. So the determination whether or not it's incredible or regrettable, I think, well, I know it's incredible. And speaking of hypes and gripes, well, hyping, we gonna hype and gripe. Hypes and gripes! Thank you. Ashley,
Oh my gosh.
what you griping about, girl?
Well, you know what? I've been doing a lot of travel lately, and
You
so
think? Good Lord.
I am literally, I mean, speaking of 50% of your time on a plane, that has been my life lately. And so a lot of my hypes and gripes are travel edition. Um, so I feel like I need to start out with the gripes.
G- let's do it. Yeah,
I'm
let's gripe
feeling
first. Let's gripe first, and
the
we're gonna end with
gripes.
the hype. Yes, actually, that's that. Yes, yes, yes. Gripes and hypes. Boom. So we had to switch it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Gripe.
Okay, so this actually shout out to my sister Tara.
Hey,
She
Tara.
brought up this gripe. But this is so true. This irks me like so bad, like every time. So, okay, I'm always traveling with luggage. So, when you're on an
Luggage.
luggage,
Yes,
lots
she
of
does.
luggage.
Lots.
Um when you're on an escalator, it's fine. You don't need to walk up the escalator or walk down, especially if you're with luggage. Just stay to one side. Be polite to the people that do want to walk up and down. But
Mhm.
totally fine to just get on the escalator and enjoy those moments of peace. However, a moving walkway.
Mm.
Let me say that again. A moving walkway. You are supposed to move on the walkway. So the gripe is for the people who get on the moving walkway and just stand there. And
Yes.
then not only stand there, but then they block the whole moving walkway.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you get on the walkway, walk because that's the whole point of them. The whole point is to move people faster. And then also, again, shout out to Tara, and I agree with this. There's like no better feeling than when you walk on a moving walkway and, like, you're going twice the speed. It's almost as though
Yes.
you're flying. Why
Yeah.
would you rob yourself of that feeling?
Why? This is amazing. Absolutely. And if you're
Yes,
not if you wanna just stand, you have to stand to the right. Like, it literally
yes.
you just have to stand and move all the way over, like, all the way over, all the way over.
So, Michael, just like you have sidewalkography in New York, which I totally get now because I've spent more time in New York,
Mhm.
uh, my gripe, I guess, is airportography because people are just not aware. They don't have spatial awareness of what is happening around them at the airport. And you know what? People are in a hurry. They are trying to get from terminal A to terminal E, sometimes very quickly in 20 minutes. And so, no, you cannot be blocking the entire moving walkway. Like, pay attention, be polite, be respectful to other people who are trying to move quickly. And
Boom, honey. She grabbed it. She grabbed it. She grabbed it on up. She grabbed it. She grabbed it. She grabbed it on up. Grab her.
that was, like, regrettable.
Regrettable.
I
Grab
gave you a
her.
little,
I know it's a little
like,
gurgle up in there. Like,
regrettable.
regrettable. Okay. Well,
Michael,
that's a
what are you
good gripe.
griping?
Okay, for me, I am griping this. It's not a travel gripe, but I could have many travel gripes. This is a gripe about so I have had to cancel my dentist appointment um a couple times because of just scheduling recently, and
Oh,
now I've rescheduled
oh.
my dentist appointment. But it's the anxiety right before you go to the dentist. And
Mm.
it's literally like, "Oh my god, did I floss? Did I do everything? Like, am I good?" Like, PS, you should have been doing it before. Do you know what I mean? Like, so let's just call it what it is. Like, you should have been doing it before. It's the full anxiety of going to the right before you go to the dentist. You go to the dentist, you get in there, and you're like, "What are they gonna say?" Like, "Oh, of course, I need to. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to floss more." All the things, and you're sitting there, and then it's like, for me, it's like the anxiety of them being like, "What? I
The
don't know.
judgment.
We gotta do something about that plaque. I don't know. We gotta fix something down in your teeth." Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always a something. And I'm always like, I don't like your judgment. I don't like you how you're looking at me right now. I don't like that tone of voice and what you're saying to me, and I don't like how you're talking about my teeth. Okay, so like, I get it. I understand that we maybe need to get it together. Maybe we need to do a little more flossing, but there's a lot of anxiety in going to the dentist's office. Some people love going to the dentist. I literally feel like I talked to my mother, and she's like, "I'm going to the dentist today," and then like I talked to her the following week, and she's like, "I'm doing a follow up at the dentist today." I'm like, "Why are you always at the dentist?" She's like, and she like loves it. Like, there's something about I don't know. Like, I do not. I'm not a fan. I know we have to go. Shout out to the fierce dentist. All the things. I get it. I know. I get it. But there's anxiety in going to the dentist's
There is.
office. And scene. He griped. He griped. He grabbed it all up. He's a griper.
Michael, I feel like my niece just went to, like, a pediatric dentist office, and it had, like, a full playground in the lobby, and they give them a tablet, and they watch cartoons, and, like, it's like a luxury, like, resort at this dentist office. Why don't they have that for adults?
I would absolutely be for that, and I would be all about playing in the playground before my dentist appointment. So I'm all about I did go to this dentist once. It was like it's like so these new dentists where like you sit and like there's a TV in front of you and there's like above you and you're like you can watch like Netflix, you can watch Hulu, you can watch like I literally was watching Peacock and watching Real Housewives, like full on, and I loved that. I loved that. But my dentist now is very old school, and I really love them because they are just like old school. They don't have none of that. They're like "Mm-mm, sit your booty down, lean back, and let us get up in this mouth and get figure this out." That's literally they're like none of this like extra stuff. So there is a balance. I know that I just went on a rant about the dentist, but I do appreciate the dentists and what they do, and we obviously need them. But it's just a lot of anxiety.
Michael, that is so relatable to so many people. It's a good gripe. Good gripe.
Thank you. Thank you. We griped it. We griped it. Griper. What's your hype?
Well, okay. So, once again, travel edition. I have been spending a lot of time in hotels, and, the thing is w you learn to appreciate things that we take for granted,
Yes.
and when you go to hotels, something as simple as just good water pressure. I mean,
Oh, that's
a
my hype.
good shower
Yes.
at a hotel with good water pressure
Yes.
and a shower that's clean with no shower curtain that, like that who knows, has touched. Like, I just love a good shower with good water pressure, and then when you get into, like, a good hotel bed that, like, doesn't have, the point in the middle and then, like, the divots. You know what I'm talking about. The hotel
Honey,
bed
we
that,
know.
like that literally has, like, a mountaintop, like Mount Fuji in the middle because 2 people have slept on either side, and then you, like, literally roll down the mattress. So
Yes.
when you get, like, the most amazing heavenly shower with good water pressure and then unlimited hot water. Like, just like, oh, you can be in there for 20 minutes, and then you get in this bed that's, like, even and has, like, the perfect pillow top, and
Even.
it's just, like, heavenly. I mean, it's just the simple pleasures, like, these things that we take for granted, but then when you're in, like, bad hotel rooms and you're, like, rolling off the bed or, you're like a dirty shower curtain, like, touches your leg and you're just like, "Ah, don't touch me." It's like, I am hyping up. I don't need anything fancy, but just, like, good water pressure, unlimited hot water, a clean shower, and an even bed, an even mattress. I'm hyping that up. I've had a couple of those rooms lately. I'm hyping that up. And, I'm hyping up just good hotel rooms.
I I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, Michael, what are you hyping?
Okay, I am hyping up. I mean, I have to. I am hyping up season 1 of the Scrubs revival. I mean, it
Yay!
I'm hyping it up because it has been the honor. Oh my gosh, such an honor to be a part of it, and it's done so well, and people have responded to it so well, and I feel like they've really just done an incredible job with bringing it back and like what it was known for. The writing is just so amazing. Like it's so good. The cast, the crew, like the team, like everyone, it's just such a beautiful, family of people who worked on a lot of them worked on the original. So they brought everyone
Oh.
back and it was just a really amazing experience and I cannot stress enough how uh, just how positive of a time it was. And so I'm just hyping up season 1 of the Scrubs revival on ABC next day on Hulu. Just saying.
That is an amazing hype.
Yes.
And you know what I love? I love being your hype friend in this moment because I've gotten so many comments from so many people being like, "How about MJS on Scrubs? And he's so funny,
Aw.
and his character is my favorite." And like, I've gotten so many comments, and I just love like being here for you and watching you shine in this moment.
Well, thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I really feel the love. Like it's not easy being a new cast member on a show that has existed and is like very beloved and has like a very loyal fan base and about loyal fan base and all of that and what that's like. So it really is like coming into like a Star Wars franchise. I mean, like in the sense of like it's this beloved thing that the fans are really like it's theirs, like they love it so much and they really take ownership over it and they have lots of opinions about it and like all the things just like the way you and Katie Sackhoff talked about, like where you stand with the fan, all the things. It's such just like it's a big part of the show. And so it's a lot of pressure coming in, and what's been amazing is the fans have really embraced me and my cohort ex Mayo, this nurse duo, and just what we were able to bring, and literally people like Miss Sarah Chalke, who's going to be on here very very soon, just opened their arms. They were like, "Come on, come into this family. We want you here now. Do you? Let's go. Let's have fun." So I'm really thrilled. I'm really thankful, and I'm excited about what is to come. So that is my big hype today, and it leads into our very exciting guest. Ow! All right, so we should take a little quick break because when we come back, we're gonna have the amazing Sarah Chalke. Oh my gosh! Okay, so we'll be right back. I am so excited because today we are entering TV legend territory, y'all. You know her as the razor sharp, hilariously unfiltered Dr. Elliot Reid from Scrubs. You've watched her hold her own in television history on Roseanne. You've heard her voice guiding you through emotional damage and interdimensional nonsense in Rick and Morty. But beyond all that, she is someone who has made millions of people laugh, cry, and feel just a little bit more human. Basically, she's the kind of person who could roast you, hug you, and inspire you all in the same sentence. We're talking to someone who has helped define what funny, real, and unforgettable actually look like. What's so special is that no matter the medium, live action, comedy, animation, this fierce woman brings this unique mix of authenticity and warmth that just connects with people. You believe her, you root for her, you grow with her characters. So whether you grew up watching her quote her lines daily or just Googled, "Why do I feel emotionally attached to fictional doctors?" you're in the right place. She's no Superman, but she is a superstar. Please give up all the energy for the brilliant, the dynamic, the effortlessly captivating Sarah Chalke!
Yay!
You guys, nobody's ever said that many nice things. Thank you. Are you guys my hype friends?
Yes. Oh, welcome, Sarah. Oh, we're
Thank
so
you for
excited to
having
have
me.
you.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Thanks for having me.
Sarah Chalke, oh my gosh, I am beyond my thrilled and beyond excited to be able to introduce you to my dear old high school buddy, pal, fierce friend, Ashley Eckstein. And I knew we actually said this earlier in the recording that we think that like you and her would actually probably play sisters on some TV show. Like
I think we
On
would. I'll
something
take
somewhere.
that. Yes, please. Yes. Yes. We've got the same hairdo today.
I know.
I
it's
mean,
very I feel it's
yeah.
giving, you know what I mean? It's giving like sisters. Like it's giving
Mhm.
it. It's giving it. It's giving it. It's giving it.
Ashley, it's so great to meet you. Any friend of Michael's is a friend of mine.
Oh.
Um, uh, I feel so lucky that Michael, that you came to work on the show. It could not have been more fun. You could not have been more amazing, both as an actor, obviously, but as a human, you just add so much. Like every day you're there is more fun, and we're so lucky.
Well, that's insanely kind. And as I've said this to many people, meeting you all and meeting you. I mean, I remember when I met you and I was told, "Oh my God, you're gonna love Sarah. You're gonna love Sarah. Oh my God, wait till you meet Sarah Chalke. I wait till you meet Sarah." And literally, like I met you and you were in like like you were getting full hair, like the hair and makeup situation, and you turned and you literally were like, "Hi, welcome," and like it was just like immediate open arms, like actual open arms, like welcome to this family, welcome to this community, welcome to the set, welcome to the family of it all. And I just and I told Ashley, and I've said this before, it starts at the top, and literally that's where I was like, oh, like this is going to be really special. Oh my gosh. So thank you. And I'm beyond excited that literally people have gotten to see, all the amazingness come back full circle of it all. And I got to see it firsthand. So I'm just saying.
And you got to be part of it firsthand. Like,
I
oh my God,
know, I
Ashley,
know.
you would have been so excited to watch Michael this part. Like it was so fun. I mean, it was like, it's so fun. It was one of my favorite parts about Scrubs is having like people come and guest star on the show, but then there's people that are just so amazing that it's like, oh, okay, let's just keep writing more and more and more for Michael and for X. And like every time they would give Michael a line. They'd be like, oh, now try this, throw this Alton, try this, try that. And everyone, he was like, nail it, nail it, nail it, nail it. And one thing was, more funny than the last. And so they just wrote more and more and more. And then obviously like just offset and at Saturday night dinners every week. And it was just so fun to like get to know you as a friend. And so, yeah, just feel like super lucky. And you're balancing all of that with Aladdin the whole time.
Yes.
I know. I didn't really talk about all of that, like, because it was just so ridiculous and crazy, and everyone was crazy, and everyone has busy schedules. But yes, it was crazy.
Well, and I have to hype both of you up. Congratulations on an incredible season. I mean, it sounds crazy to say season 1 because it's, Scrubs 2.0. But congratulations on season 1. You are both incredible. As someone who, just looked forward to each and every episode, I laughed, I cried, I cheered, literally yelled at the television and cheered. So just congratulations. I'm so happy for you both. And Sarah, I mean, just what a labor of love. I mean, what was it like? I have to know, coming back on set, did you cry? What was the feeling day one when you were there?
It was wild. It was so surreal. Like I went a couple weeks before for my first wardrobe fitting, and they were right towards the end of building all the sets. And I grew up, my whole 20s was filming in that abandoned hospital that's been since torn down. And then they rebuilt the sets like they were identical. And so like stepping on that cafeteria set, like you just get flooded with all these memories of both things that happened on and off set, moments in the show, moments with friends. Like it was such a formative time in my life. And then to come back to that, like it was 25 years later, was totally insane. And I knew it was going to be great. Like I knew going into it, oh, this is going to be really special and it's going to be really fun. And then it was actually even better somehow than I had thought it was going to be.
All of it is such a big thing in terms of like a big part of your life and like the friends that have come with this. But when the word hype friend, when you hear that, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to Sarah Chalke when you hear the term hype friend?
When I hear hype friend, I think like it's all of the things. Like it's showing up for your friend. It's being there for them in the good, the bad, the hard. It's listening. It's being listened to. And then I feel like the biggest part that comes to mind is like a lifting up. Like I feel like, I think of so many times in my life where I have felt lifted up or been able to have the privilege to lift up and be there for my friends. Like I think when you are in those phases of your life where like you don't quite believe it yet, but they super believe in you and they can almost lift you until you start to believe it as well. And I feel like I've been so lucky in my life. I mean, you guys have this too, knowing each other since high school. My best friends I met in kindergarten. I grew up with them. We've been through like relationships, babies, illnesses, stuff happening with our parents, like just the whole thing. And I truly don't know what I would have done without them. I mean, my life wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't have moved to LA. I wouldn't have done Scrubs. I wouldn't have gotten Scrubs. My best friend, my two best friends are named Jen, and my Jen's like, I've met them both in kindergarten, which is crazy rare. But like my best friend Jen and I moved to LA together. We packed up her truck, and we had a friend in LA who knew someone who had a 6-month sublet. And she was like, let's go. You want to act. I want to produce. She'd just been to film school. And I was like, I kind of commuted because I was so young when I was doing Roseanne. I'd commuted, I'd moved back here. I'd gone down to LA for one really, really crazy pilot season where it was like, tested for 7 things, made it to end 7 times, didn't get anything, rented a salsa dance teacher's apartment. She would teach salsa there in the day. I would sleep there at night. I came home. I was like, I might be done with LA. And Jen was like, no, we're doing this. You want to do this? I want to do this. We can both do this. We're going. And so we packed up her truck with like the most random stuff, like a guitar that I didn't know how to play, and just drove there. And, supported each other through that beginning where you get there and you don't really know anyone and you're trying to find jobs. And Jen would run my lines with me for every single one of my auditions, including scrubs. And we were roommates for years and kind of got to know LA together and made friends there together. And not a chance I could have done with her. Not a chance.
Oh, I love that two things. You said lift up, which is absolutely something that a hype friend does. And then a friend that just says, let's go. Like,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, we all need a friend because we are our worst enemy that in our mind where we're just like, can I do that? No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No, maybe I shouldn't. And then to have that friend that just says, let's go.
I got to watch this up and close. Like Zach and Donald and you all back together, like the original OGs up in this, okay, like up in the Scrubs world of it all, and like friends, like actual friends, like which is so rare. And as I said to Ashley, I was like, what was so cool is like actually seeing real friends like be a part of this together. Like that's what was so special. And I mean, after like 16 years or however, was it, maybe it was even longer, I can't remember, but what was it actually like, Sarah? Like, and I know that there's, you're talking to your boy Michael, you're talking to MJS. So like, what was it actually like? Like, what did you feel like? What was really going on there?
Yeah, it's like you said, I mean, it was 16 years since we last worked on the show together, 25 years since we started. Like I was 24, Zach was 25, and Donald was 26 when we started, when we met. And, it's like when you start, as you guys know, on like your first day on a job and you hope, I hope we all get along. It'll make such a difference. I hope that this is fun. I hope it's a good group. I hope people are kind. I hope that it's collaborative. We'll all do our best work if it's a creative, collaborative environment. And that's hopefully the case. Is not always the case. And so like, what was it like going back to this? It's like, that was the crazy part about the first day is you take all those factors out. Like you show up at a first day of work and you're like, how do I get to know everybody? How do I find my way into the character? And none of those elements were there. And it was like, it was actually crazy how fast everybody kind of slipped back into their roles and their patterns and their friendships of what we had. Like we became like siblings. I mean, it was 8 years on that show. We experienced this whole, the beginning of the show together, the excitement of when it started to gain traction. But at the end of the day, like we were shooting in this abandoned hospital. It wasn't on a lot. There wasn't like, executives really coming to visit the set. So it felt like we were kind of on this little, removed place that we had so much fun together. Like when I look back at those 8 years, like we had long hours. Like sometimes we worked 17-hour days in the OG days. But at the end of it, we had so much fun. And I think like everybody just really cared about each other and they cared about, that obviously came from Bill Lawrence, the creator of the show. He wanted there to be an environment where everybody could feel safe. And so like, it was this time where you get to like, you try something, you try it a different way. And you have the freedom to fail. And I think that's when it works for comedies, when you can fall flat on your face. You try something, it was not funny at all. You tried an alt, it wasn't funny at all. It doesn't matter. They're not going to use it. But like, that's when you're going to find something that actually works. And, we spent so many hours all together. It was like we were spending more time with each other than we were with anyone else in our lives. And like, it got to the point where like, there was a sound that Zach and Donald could make that would make me laugh so hard. It would be like midnight and Randall would be behind the monitor. Nobody could see. It would be like my close up. So everybody's back over there and they would be on the other side doing all this stuff to try and get me to laugh. And it's been like so many hours. Like I am the first out of anyone to break. And so yeah, it was just to have like, I think you can hope to have chemistry on a show, but what you can't actually manufacture is history. And when you have 25 years of history with people, like I think it translates on screen, but also makes the experience so much more fulfilling. And that all feels just super, super lucky. And I genuinely, like, obviously think, you know, that they're so incredibly talented. So it's like, talk about being a hype friend easily. Like, I would brag about their talents to anyone who came up, be like, you're not going to, okay, here's the thing. Zach's an incredible director. And here's what he's getting. Like, he really understands how to talk to actors, but also the shots are like, he's just really, really talented at that. That's not obviously a given. So it was so cool. We came back and he directed the first episode. Donald is like one of those, like, the funniest people that I've ever met, but also somebody who is like, comes into the hair and makeup trailer. I worked with him for 8 years before, and now with this season, like, I don't think he's never come in a bad mood. Like, he prioritizes, like, you know, the tone on set and just bringing it every time. And it's super rare. And
prioritizes the tone on set. Ooh, yes,
I
yes.
love that.
Yes, I love that. That's so true, Sarah. Like that's such a great a great point, because and also really specific. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's something we all could do, like wherever your set is. You know, like that's just period. It's not about being on a TV show set. It can be literally in anywhere.
it can be
In
anywhere,
yeah.
in any medium, like in any job, in any office space, in anywhere. But you do that
Yes.
too, Michael. I mean, you did that every day.
And so, Sarah, I want to ask, because you talk about 25 years of history together, which I completely agree. I've had the pleasure of having almost that same amount of time with my Star Wars family, and that only comes with time. But not all of those years did you work together. And I love, like, I think we all can relate. I love going on like an Instagram deep dive or a social media deep dive. And when I went back in time on your Instagram, and you know, I saw how many photos that you had with your castmates when you weren't working. And so clearly y'all have kept your friendship, your relationship. How did you do that? What were some of the intentional things that you did to keep those friendships alive?
Yeah, it actually happened super organically. I mean, I think, you know, I feel like everyone always says, like, oh yeah, we kept in touch, but often people don't. I mean, for a lot of reasons, right? Like busy lives and uh, all of it. But so I moved back to Canada 10 years ago. Um, but then continued to go back to LA. And whenever I would go back, we'd all have dinner all together. Zach would organize ski trips with his buddies. And,
Y'all love
you
a
know,
ski trip. They love a ski trip, Ashley. They are no
I
joke.
saw that on Instagram. I'm so
They
impressed.
are no joke. Yeah, I mean, obviously Sarah's from, like, is in like she's in Vancouver, and like the most she has told, you know, so one of our first conversations was like how gorgeous the Whistler and like the whole that area of the country, and like, I mean, she's literally by like some of the most insane gorgeous ski places, but like they love them a ski situation.
Michael, well, take the 2 Florida kids. We would just be sitting there looking cute in our full snowsuits, sitting on the tubes. Like, we
yeah,
would just be on a tube.
that's what it's about. That's mostly what it's about.
I wanna go back to the beginning. We often do this, and you have had such an incredible career. I mean, congratulations on just such an amazing career. Uh, but you mentioned that you started young. Was Roseanne your first kind of big regular set? And how old were you?
Yeah, it was my first big job. Like, I grew up in Vancouver where there's filming here. So I'd done like a couple of small parts on like movies of the week that shot up here. Like, the whole first part of my resume is like Our Mother's Murder, Dying to Belong, Moment of Truth, semicolon, Stand Against Fear, Relentless, The Mind of a Killer. Like, just kind of like, you can get the vibe of what I had been doing. And so, you know, I would have a small part where I'd be like, Mom, phone. And that's like kind of mostly what I had done. So it actually was kind of preposterous to go down and do that job. I had just sent a VHS tape in the mail from Vancouver. But yeah, I was 16 when I auditioned for Roseanne and 17 when I started.
So, okay, so that's why I wanted to ask, because a lot of times the foundations of friendship you learn when you're young. And so, you know, Michael and I, we had a traditional high school, but we were actor kids, and we would go and come and work. Um, but that can be hard. I mean, that can be hard to build those foundational blocks of friendship, and then you're going into an established TV show, where it's almost like starting at a new school. So, how did you build your foundation blocks of friendship, especially if as a working actor?
Yeah, I feel like that was so lucky just in terms of the timing of when I really started. Like the other stuff was small. I was still going to high school all the time, and I would leave for like these little tiny chunks to do smaller jobs. So it was my grade 12 year was the Roseanne show job. And I feel like by then you're not fully formed, but you're pretty formed in terms of your values and who you are. And I had this incredible group of friends. I remember the night before I left for my first day on the Roseanne show, like our whole grad class went out. It was a school night. Nobody was supposed to be out partying. We all went out together, and
Oh,
everybody signed this pillowcase for me. And I had like a bag that was full of like cards and letters and good luck, like little things. And I, yeah, I felt like super supported going into this thing that felt like really daunting. And um, even, uh, when I got the job, I remember saying to my agent, who was young, like I was 16, he was probably like 24. We were both kind of starting out. And I saw the schedule, and it was August to April. And I was like, what are these hiatus weeks in here? Can I go home on the hiatus weeks? Because I want to graduate with my friends. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And I said, could you find out? Because I'm not going to take the job if I can't. And I remember his jaw hitting the floor. Like, he was like, you got this job and you're not going to take it if you can't come home to go to a party on the weekends with your friends in grade 12. Like, what? But my friends were such a priority to me in my life. Like, it's that point in your life where you just, like, it was my grade 12 year. And so the news came back that yes, I could fly home on the hiatus weeks. So I took the job. And it wasn't
Wow.
that I wasn't grateful for the job. I was hugely grateful for the job, but I think it was like that moment in your life, you're like, oh, but this is also really important to me. And so um, we shot Monday to Thursday. It was kind of, they had it down. It was such a well-oiled machine. It was like season 6. Thursday night was tape night. And I would fly home Friday morning, get to school by Friday afternoon, and spend the weekends at home, and then rinse, lather, repeat.
wow. Oh my gosh, that's so I love see, well, what I love about that though too is that you also made it as unconventional as that was at that time being, a working actor who was, you're young, like you weren't officially an adult yet. Like that you that was still like a quote unquote normal, like you still had that part of your life, and so you really kept that in there, which is I feel like such a grounding thing to be able to have gotten to keep that a part of the journey.
The thing that keeps that you keep saying, and that I love and I want to go back to, is and maybe just continue on this journey of your again very successful career, but I want to hear about it through the lens of friendship and what you learned. But it just sounds like friendship was so intentional for you. It's very hard not to change without people in your corner, keeping your feet on
Mm.
the ground, and having those hype friends that keep you grounded and that are there for you. So now you're on Roseanne, and making your way as an actress. How did you continue to keep those friendships, but then make new ones? Tell us more about the journey once you were kind of cemented as a working actress in LA.
Yeah, I think what you said about it being like so important and kind of the guiding force, like I actually think it's the most important thing. I remember a long time ago, reading an article. There's articles like this all the time about people on their deathbeds and people who work in palliative care, and what do people say on their deathbed. And it's like the thing that mattered to them the most was the connections
Mm.
that they had in their life. Like that came before everything. And if I look at, you know, I hope I'm at the midpoint, unless I get to like 150, then I'm only 1/3 of the way through. I feel like I know that will be true for me, and that's how I will feel. And, you know, it is, yeah, if we don't have that, and I feel like it comes in the form of like my best friends that I've gotten to grow up with. It comes in the form of, like you just said, like the new friends that you make along the way. And I was so lucky, LA is such a big place, and I met some really incredible people who I see when I go back and who are still some of my closest friends. And that was the hard part about leaving LA for sure. And then I have, two sisters who are, like such a huge force and a force of friendship in my life. Like we talked about showing up for your friends and how important that is, and being there through all of the, and the lifting up. But there's also like the element of friendship where when you are so close with someone, that they can tell you anything and the hard stuff, because if they don't, nobody else will. And so like both of my sisters are that, and I have that with my closest friends too. But basically just kind of like, I think it's the biggest gift to tell someone the hardest things. And, I always, appreciate it, because if they're not going to tell you, like, what if you just walk around the world and you don't know it? And so it's obviously a hard thing to do. And so I feel like that's, just another, piece of it that I feel super lucky to have.
Sarah, I love that you said the way you just said that it's a gift to to tell someone some of the hardest things. Like, to reframe it in that way too is really important, I think, for people to hear. Do you think it was your sisters, like, in terms of you like learning the building, like how to build those like connections and things like that, obviously because of your sisters and just sort of where you come from? Do you think that is that where you learn how to build those kinds of connections, or that sort of foundation as being a good friend, like Sarah Chalke the friend?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how.
That's so interesting, Michael. Like, I haven't thought of that actually in that way before, but yes. I mean, my older sister's 14 months older than me, and my little sister's 13 years younger. So it was kind of more like almost like a parental role that developed into more like, like an equal friendship as she got older. And but for my older sister, like, talk about first of all, like, being a hype friend. I mean, talking about musical theater and hype friends. So it was my sister who I did musical theater with, and when we got out of the classes into the performing groups and you had to audition, we auditioned, and she got the lead, and they called my house and they were like, "Natasha, you got the lead. We want you to, be this part of blah, blah, blah." And her first question was, "What about Sarah?" And they said, "Yeah, no, we don't, not take it. We don't want her." And she was like, "Then I'm not going to do the play." And she hung up the phone, and they called back our house 10 minutes later, and they were like, "Okay, fine. We'll take the little sister too, because we want you to have the lead part." So I was wearing all black, and I had a tiger mask, and I was like, in the back being the tiger, and I was in heaven. I was like, I'm doing it. It's happening. And, she did not go into acting, but was always so incredibly supportive, and like would always tell me, because I think, this chosen career has so many ups and downs, and you need to believe so much, like, that it's, that you're doing the right thing. And so she was always that for me, but not just obviously in this way, but just in terms of what you were saying about learning about friendship. I mean, when you have a sibling relationship, you learn about repair all the time, because that's like the whole thing when you're 14 months apart. And we got along really well, but obviously we also fought, and
Wow.
And so
where does it come from? Like, where did she learn this, you think? Like, where specifically, I'm curious, like, where do you think she learned that?
Oh, that was in
where
her.
did you learn this? Like
that. I mean, for sure from our parents. Like, they prioritized that, and there was lots of conversations growing up about that, about showing up, and about the most important thing is kindness. Like, I always found it so interesting when I was being parenting groups. Once I became a mom, and people would say, they'd ask in the parenting group, like, what do you hope for your kid? And they're like, that they're happy. And I'm like, no, that they're kind.
Yes.
Like, that's the most important thing that I would want for my kids. And I think that, like, that was certainly one of the values we were raised with. But also, like, I think, she also, my older sister was just born with that in her. Like, that's just kind of how she has always carried herself and lived her life. I mean, all of my friends go to her for advice. And she's one of the, probably the best listener that I've ever come across. And I think that's the biggest thing about friendship too, right? Is listening.
Yes. Well, I want to go back to one thing you said, because I've never thought about it this way, even though, as someone with siblings, same, I experienced it constantly. I had 2 sisters, but you talked about rebuilding friendships. And I mean, that's something we saw play out on Scrubs this season with you and JD.
It's like the most important thing is repair. Like, I teach that.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked to my kids, and I have so many conversations about that. Like, I tell them all the time, the power of an apology, it is so important, and it is so disarming when someone apologizes, because I want, them to, I've been thinking about, like, you want your kids to be a really good friend and someone that people turn to and that they're good listeners. And, I actually asked Frankie, my 9-year-old, on the way to school this morning, I told her what I was doing today. I said, I'm actually going to talk to Michael, James Scott, and his friend Ashley about friendship. Like, the whole podcast is about friendship. And I said, like, what do you think is the most important thing? And she said, it was so cute. The first thing she said was sticking to each other. And I think she meant, like, being by someone's side, like, don't abandon them, like, sticking to each other. And then she said, being able to be comfortable with someone and really being able to be yourself. And I thought, like, that's so cool that at 9, she kind of, you already had that feeling in your body of, like, oh, it's where I can be authentic. It's where I can just, like, be myself and not put up any airs or any walls. And so I thought, after she was said that, I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh yeah, like, with my friends growing up, like, there's such a, like, relaxed, and I'm sure you guys have this too with each other, like, that feeling where you're just, like, so relaxed because you're just yourself. Like, there's nothing but just, you have that comfort and that history.
Yeah. Oh, sticking to each other.
Sticking to each other.
Sticking to each other.
Miss Frankie, oh my gosh, please say hello. Oh my gosh, she is the best.
I am literally crying. Sorry. I cry like every episode, but I'm crying because of sometimes we have a lot to learn about friendship from kids. I think friendship, you have to teach friendship. Kids don't automatically know how to be good friends. That's why it's a practice. You have to learn how to be a good friend. But I think as adults, sometimes we actually forget how simple it is, and how kids, we have a lot to learn from kids. And I think, please thank Frankie for her advice, because she's right. That's going to stick with me.
And we got to stick to each other, right? Like, you got to
stick to each other.
You got to stick to each other.
Yeah.
You got to be there. You got to be there. I mean, it's like a kid's version of showing up, like, you're sticking to each other.
Absolutely. Well, Sarah, you've been really open about using your platform for things beyond entertainment. Where does that instinct come from for you? Because it goes beyond. And I think this is why so many people in my intro, as I said, like, really connect to you.
I feel like it's been a bit of a journey. Like, I feel like it's been a bit of a learning curve. I feel like it's been a bit of a process in that. Oh, there's my Canadian accent.
I was like,
a bit of a process.
Canadian of it all.
Now that I live up here, it's like it comes out all the time, and it's weird, because if I'm talking, it comes out, and if I'm reading a script, it comes out. It's like a weird thing. But the process has been, I feel like I started out kind of like not really sure about, just feeling very private. And my first job being on the Roseanne show, where everyone was very private and they would get into their, like, it was a time when it was the number one show on TV, and for a very good reason. Like, everybody was private, and I get it. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna, keep my personal life private. And I did for a long time. And but I do feel like there's a level of responsibility to, if you have some kind of are lucky enough to have some kind of a platform, to use it for good. And so then it started I was like, well, maybe I could talk about this. Maybe I could raise awareness about this, or maybe, this is really important to me, or to one of my friends, or to my family. And then when my son was 15 months old, he got something really serious called Kawasaki disease. And he's really great. He's doing great. We got really lucky, but you have a 10-day window for a treatment, and not enough people know about it. And so I was never going to talk about it. It was something I was going to be very private about. But I did end up speaking at a fundraiser, and a bunch of moms came up to me afterwards, and their kids did not have the outcome that we did. And it was devastating. And I got in the car and I was like, okay, so we need to do something immediately on a large scale to raise awareness, because there actually is a way. There is something called IVIG, which is like a 10-hour treatment, and but it's time sensitive. So we need to raise awareness. And so I went and talked to my agent the next day, and he said, I'm going to set up a meeting with Shonda Rhimes tomorrow, and you're going to do an episode of Grey's Anatomy about this, because they have such an amazing show. And they have such a huge reach. And I went and told Shonda the story, and she said, yeah, we're going to write it in this season, and you're going to play the mom. And I was like, I can't thank you enough for doing this. You're going to save so many lives. And I am so grateful from the bottom of my heart, but I don't know that I can play the mom, because it's so raw. It's so fresh. I don't know that I can do that. And I slept on it, and I called her the next day, and I was like, yeah, I'll play the mom, because I knew that if I did that, it would provide another opportunity to talk about it and to raise more awareness about it. And so that kind of started out out of that, we ended up doing a thing at the end of the Grey's Anatomy episode where they raise awareness, and they say, like, go to kawasakifoundation.org to learn more. And they let us do that. And I'm always excited on the first day of work. And that was the first day of work where I was really, really nervous. I thought, like, what if I can't stop crying in the scene where I'm supposed to cry, as opposed to, like, will I be able to actually cry? And I got a call from the doctor who we have fundraised with, and who's one of the leading world researchers in Kawasaki disease, Dr. Jane Burns. And she called me, and she said, so the kid who's playing your kid had Kawasaki disease, and he didn't know. The mom didn't know when they auditioned. It was just like, the kids are like twins or triplets. And so they auditioned for the audition was like, here, mom, I made this picture for you. And then he got the part, and then found out. And I was like, I just felt this moment of like, oh, okay, no, we were meant to do this. And then had parents reach out afterwards, some of whom were watching the Grey's Anatomy episode. There was one mom who was watching the Grey's Anatomy episode. She had a sick baby in her arms, and she, like me, had kept getting turned away from the ERs. And she saw the episode, and it's what had kept her fighting. So she writes me this letter. I'm literally in my bathroom reading it, like on the floor bawling. So it made me feel like, okay, there was a point to doing it, and to kind of keep doing things like that, when you can.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for putting it out there. Like, that's a lot. And I mean, you literally helped so many people. Like you said, I mean, that is the power of being able to have something like this, where the platform, as you said, like, to literally do good and take it past, the power of television, and the power of, like, what could be for literally everyday people to see something and have another mom be like, oh no, like this, I have to get help.
I want to go back to what you said at the beginning of, and what we talked about. Anything can be your set, and you are so intentional. I mean, it's very clear that you're intentional with your choices and what what you want and what you want to do. And it seems like you're not afraid to ask the question, to say, well, I want to go back and be with my friends. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. And so this is such a metaphor for anyone. I mean, yes, we are very lucky. We are very blessed when we have a set or a Broadway stage, to share our voices on, but you don't have to have an actual stage to share your voice. I think anyone can be intentional. Anyone can ask the question and say, do you want to do this? Can we do this? And I think that's one thing that, Michael and I say we're starting a friendship revolution, one hype friend at a time. And I think one thing, we talk about our phones and how wonderful they can be, but they were never meant to replace this and connection. And with connection, we have to be intentional. We have to ask questions. We have to call people. We have to ask if they want to get involved. How can people be intentional? Is it something? Is this just who you are? Is it also a mindful choice? Does it make you nervous to sometimes reach out and be intentional and ask for things? How can we be more like you?
First of all, don't Michael's hung out with me. Don't be more like me. You'll be like, this finger's still broken, hasn't healed yet.
No,
but,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not sure what we're doing about that one. I feel like, in terms of the intentional piece, like, I do believe in being intentional. I'm a strong believer in manifesting and kind of telling yourself what you want, but then also saying it out loud, also writing it down, being intentional about your choices, but also about asking yourself, the world, the universe, and writing it down. And that's something I started like pre-Scrubs, and all the most significant things that have happened in my life, I've written down. And in terms of being intentional, in terms of what you're saying about like intentional in friendship, like I think it's exactly what you guys said before about it being a practice. I love your reference to that. I think it's so true. Like it is a practice. It's intentional, checking in, being there for your friends, not asking. I read once that said like, don't ask a friend what you can do when they're in a hard time. When they're having a hard time, you're talking to them. So don't say like, what can I do? Because obviously like you want to be there for them, but that's actually giving them a job is how they framed it. And they said, so like, just do it. You just show up, just do it. Just bring the food. Like, and that's how my group of friends are. Like somebody has an emergency and like before we know it, one person started a meal train and all the food's being delivered. They don't have to think about it. But yeah, the checking in, when I got Scrubs, I had just done the Artist's Way workbook and I had written down like pretty much to like as close as possible to that part as you could possibly write. And then it happened. And then with Scrubs 2.0, I had said, I just want to do a comedy, no comedy shoot in Vancouver. I was like, I just want to do a comedy like Scrubs that felt like Scrubs that shoots in Vancouver. And then 2 years later, it was actually Scrubs in Vancouver. So like all of my friends, my nieces, they're all like, are you accepting requests at this point? My niece is like, I want a boyfriend. My other niece is like it was bonkers. So I do think writing it down, I actually think you have to write it down because I don't think like it's all the things you do when you write it down is you're actually telling yourself, you're kind of making it concrete to yourself, like this is what I want to do.
I mean, Sarah, we literally could talk to you for hours. Ashley, what did I tell you? I told you that Sarah Chalke is literally like the absolute best. Like she's it.
Yes.
She's everything. She's literally.
I could talk to you guys for hours.
You just want to be friends with Sarah, like period. Like you just like there's just so many things, and we could literally keep going. Like there's so many things.
Beyond.
I love you guys and thanks so much for having me. I could stay for hours.
Gosh. I want to ask you one more thing, and because Ashley and I, there's a question we both actually love this question, and I think I would love to hear you. Definitely love to hear your answer because you're you. But what does being truly seen by a friend look like for you?
What a great question. I feel like it's the authenticity part that we talked about. Like you feel so seen when you have that feeling of safety. Like I think it's feeling safe and knowing that like, okay, I can just like let my guard down and everyone can just be.
Sarah, I'm just so honored that for your time today. Michael's told me so much about you, and obviously I've been a fan of you for a long time. But just now, just as a person, getting to talk to you, I am so in. I'm gonna
Are we
manifest.
hype friends?
Are we hype friends? I'm manifesting our meeting. It's gonna be like a
Yeah.
slow motion run
Yes.
with our
Yes.
hair waving in the wind,
Yes.
with the best
Yes.
hug.
The
Oh
two
man,
Blonde
blonde,
sisters.
yes, yes, yes. Sarah Chalke, we love you. Thank you so
we
much for
love
joining
I
you.
love
us.
you
Oh
guys.
my gosh, thank
Thank you,
you. Mwah.
Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
Can you even?
Michael, I am obsessed with her.
No, I love Sarah so much. She is just like the epitome of heart and like open and just like just real. Like it really is. She's
She's
just so
real.
real. Yes, the
She's
authentic thing
real.
is for real with her.
Ugh,
There's so many there she had such great
so
little
many
nuggets.
things.
My gosh, there's so many like one last things I could say. Do you have your one last thing? I have my one last thing.
My one last thing is going to be a shout out to her daughter, little Miss Frankie. Uh, I love that she said, "Friends stick to each other."
Yeah.
You know, it's actually so simple, but it's something we need to remember because I feel like, so often there's this fear of like, well, if I say that, they're not going to be my friend anymore, or if I do that, they might not like me. Well, if they're truly your friend, they're going to stick to you. They're going to stick with you, and be that friend that gives someone the trust that you're going to stick with them no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
love that. I love that we got that advice today from a kid. And
Yes.
it's also a reminder that while kids have to learn to be friends, sometimes we just need to be childlike with our friendships.
Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, for me, there were two real clear things that stuck out for me, but literally you're talking about, you know, kids and like our hope for our kids. And, she was like, what do you hope for your kid? And and people are like that they're happy. And she's like, no, that they're kind. You're
Yes.
right. Like the and like because focusing on kindness focuses
Yes.
on other people's happiness, right? And if we're all kind, I mean, we're all happier. Like that was such a great thing to be able to like hear that because it's
Yes.
such a beautiful thing to think about and for us to remember, right?
It's
Like
so
it's
good.
kindness. Like it's just that to me is really, really, really important. It's about what we're giving, not what we're getting. So
Yes.
that for me felt like such an amazing thing. And then obviously the one last thing of it all was she literally said it's the biggest gift to tell someone the hardest things.
Mm.
What?
Yes.
What? Okay. It is the biggest gift to tell someone the hardest things. Simply like that's it.
And we are truly on a journey, a friendship journey. In order to start this friendship revolution, one hype friend at a time, we're learning. I mean, and when I started this, I I have to be honest, I didn't even think I would learn as much as I'm learning about friendship. There's so
Totally.
much to learn, and every episode I'm just like, and it really does stick with me. Like throughout
Yes.
the week where I'm just like, "Oh no, I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I gotta do that." And be intentional. She's so intentional.
So
Be
intentional.
intentional with your friends.
Well, guess what, Miss Ashley Eckstein? You stuck with me, girl.
Ah, you're stuck with me, Michael. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're stuck with me, Sky Guy.
Uh-uh.
Michael, I know you don't know it, but that's one of my most famous lines.
I'm giving you a full hype up because I know it's famous. People like, it's a whole thing. And, so I feel very honored that you said it to me. And, people would be like going crazy right now if you said that to them. So I'm taking it in. I'm taking it in.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna say, you're stuck with us, hype friends. I'm Ashley Eckstein.
I'm Michael James Scott. And remember, be a hype friend.
The
The hype
hype
starts
starts
with
with
you.
you.